I got a Mercury 250 Pro XS, and I guess what I want to, you can see it right down there is a poppet valve, and I could start this up. Maybe I could show it. So basically it's a pressure relief valve, and there's a little hole which I can't see, and I guess that poppet valve allows the pressure to release. The problem is I think it's stuck in that one position, so you could run the motor, but there's going to be water and it's going to fill up down here, and you actually see it. Well, there's some drops there that, you know, that water will come out. So I was seeing it a lot, and I thought that's kind of shouldn't be that way, so I ordered a new one. There's like a gasket, a poppet valve. So what I'll have to do is take this cowling off. So I could probably, you know, like, if I get a good shot of it, I'll take this cowling off this side, and you know, this just pops up, you know, it goes, this here molding just pops up, and then, you know, this side's got all the connections. I won't need to take that side off, but I can take this side off. I have to take the switch off, like there's that. You know, I'll look at it once I get it opened up, and that'll give me access to get down there to it, because it's pretty far down there. So in the back I'll have to take like the water line in the back off. It's hard to see that too, but it's basically where the telltale comes out. There's a water line back there, and you'll have to take that off, and then this side of the cowling will come off. And so I'm not gonna do it until I got the part, because I could run it the way it is, it's fine, but you're gonna have some water filling up here, you know. So if you ever see water coming out, don't freak out. It's kind of normal, you know, because if that thing, but you know, you want to check them. They're pretty cheap. Of course, that one was 50 bucks. Probably nothing really cheap on this motor. So anyway, until I get that in, I'll post me replacing that. Alright, you also want to take your trim switch off. Just disconnect it. And you also want to take the trim off the top, which I did. It's just laying down there. Alright, so next thing to get before you get that panel off, so I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, but right there's another screw. So you just push this grommet piece in, and you should be able to get a wrench on. Alright, and then there's also this bolt right, you see it? Where's that? Right there. Once you got that off, then you can get to your poppet valve. And this is the hole that was leaking out of. So I'll take some, get some bolts and knock that off. Also found my speedometer tube was disconnected, so probably need to look at fixing that. Once you get the two bolts out, I have to use like my 501 tool. I'm just gonna kind of gently, gingerly see if I can get it to not. Then I usually get my rubber mallet. And that'll usually yep. and pop, bam, comes off. There's the old gasket. Clean that up. So right away we can see right here it's damaged. So this poppet valve was just leaking. Alright. So obviously you can see this is the, I think they call it the inverter panel. I'm just going to try to do the same thing with it. Bam. And there's the poppet valve. So anyway, you got a little rubber piece right here. You want to take that out. And then you're good to go. Just clean it off real good. First thing to do is put in a rubber piece. Alright, and then we'll put our valve assembly together. So I'm going to take this apart because I need this piece. And I'm going to just take the old gasket off. Try to clean this up some. Alright, so I cleaned it up real good. You know, it goes like this. We got our new one. So this is going to lay like that. You got a cap that's going to lay like that. That's going to go like that. I'm going to compress the spring in. And I got the head that's tight. So, and then it just goes like that. And since it's water, I will get some black RTV and I want to put it right there. And I'm not going to put a RTV there because yes, and then you'll have your gasket like this. Take a couple bolts and start them on your gasket. So what was happening is it was broken, and it was just allowing water to just keep passing. Alright, so I didn't say what the torque setting is on that, so I'm going to have to go and look it up. But I'm just going to get it so tight. That's torqued to the right setting. So yeah, anyway, it's a reverse process. Figure out where this goes. And I'm going to just put it all back together. Okay, got everything back together. Got the seal back on. Installed the electrical for the tilt trim. And just so I'll show this. This is kind of the setup I used and different things. Like I used this little turnkey and this. Those bolts are hard to get to, so you know I kind of use these in order to get those 4 bolts off that hold the bottom cowl. You want to take that off because there's just really not any way to get down in there and get those bolts off and get that poppet out. So you really need to take that off. Just take your time. It's easy. Pretty easy fix. I wish I could have shown the water coming out. Sorry. Wish I could have shown the water coming out of that hole. But as you can see, this poppet valve had a pretty good sized tear. It's pretty old, I guess. And so that was just stuck in like the open position. So now it should run a lot better. It should have water pressure, everything. And anyway, something easy, something to check.